Hello, I am back. You know what? Let me. I'm not gonna let it be the intro into the video, baby. I'm just gonna get to talking. I don't know what I'm about to say, but we just gonna let God flow through, and we gonna let Him talk. And when God is done speaking, I'm done talking too. Okay. Now, I was at work and I don't know, like I've just been in this energy of just asking people questions, like really wanting to know where are people's heads at right now, especially in this day and age. I really just be wanting to know because like everybody doesn't, even though we all live on the same physical plane, everybody's reality is not the same. Everybody's reality is not the same at all, and I'm just leave it at that. But the question that I asked these two young ladies, I asked them, were they afraid of their own greatness? And they answered the question so fast that they didn't even allow themselves time to process the question and really allow their body to feel the question or like sit with the question. They answered it so fast that I already knew that they were telling themselves a lie to feed their ego. When their ego already know that, yeah, you may say yes, but your ego knows that you really don't, you don't really damn, what was I saying? Oh yeah. But your ego already knows that you really are afraid. You're just feeding your ego, telling yourself that you're not, but you really are. In actuality, you are. And I and it's just like to and I talked about this on my TikTok, but I talked about this on my TikTok, and I was just like, if you if you aren't afraid of your greatness, if you aren't afraid of how successful and great that you can be in this world, you will go after that greatness. You will seek that greatness inside of you, even if you are afraid. But you also have to be honest with yourself and tell yourself, like, yes, I'm afraid of how successful I can be. I'm afraid of how great I can be. I'm afraid of how higher I become, and I'm afraid of how powerful I become. But even though I'm afraid, I'm still gonna go after it because I know that it's something better behind that greatness. I know that it's something better behind that power. And it all starts with the shifting of your mind. You have to come into agreement with the fact that you are meant for greatness. Like you are meant to be bigger. You are meant to do more than what you're called here to do. Like, and I even had to be honest with myself too. Like I I was afraid, and I don't feel like I'm afraid of my own success. It's the thing with me is the consistency and actually putting in work, because my spirit can feel that this about to take off. This is going to be so successful. Like my spirit can feel it, and I can see it before it has already happened. But the thing about it is I'm not fully completing what I've already started. And it's just like when you do that, you're putting yourself in this cycle of coming back to surface level thinking, like, yeah, I get the motivation. I'm amped up. This is gonna be big, and it's gonna be good. But you start to fall back. You start to fall off. I start to not do it. I start to forget about it. And it's just like, do you really believe in yourself, or do you just believe in yourself for the moment? Because there's a difference in believing in yourself and believing in yourself for the moment. Because yeah, you can see a little bit of inspiration, and that inspiration to get you going, but You have to be the one to get up and make shit happen. You cannot sit on your ass and think that greatness is finna just be handed to you. How can you find the greatness inside of yourself if you're not going inside to see where their greatness lies? That won't make sense. Like, and that's that's just a hard truth that we have to accept in this world. Like, nothing in this world is ever going to be handed to us. Like, yes, we're going to be handed opportunities, we're going to be handed people who will help us reach certain levels in life, but to get to that point, we have to do the work. We have to take action. We have to implement certain steps to get to where we're going. Because if you only just talking about what you want to do, and if you only just talking about where you want to be, you're selling yourself a dream that with no expiration date. You're selling yourself a dream with no assignment due. Because it's only a dream if it doesn't have an expiration date. You only just dreaming of it. You're only seeing it. You have to put yourself in position, and not just physically but also mentally. So when your mindset is aligned, that's when your physical can get into alignment with it too. Okay, universe, we say, okay, she doing this. She starting this business. She going here. She talking to these people. Okay, we finna send the right people to this club. We finna send this person to the coffee shop where she finna go, because she finna be sitting down doing the work. So we gonna sit this person beside her so they can open up an opportunity or a doorway for you to seek the very thing that you're going after. And we're going to place people in your path to help you reach to that point, because you can't get to where you're going by yourself. And I thought that way. I felt like I could get to where I wanted to be in this. I feel like I could get where I wanted to be with no help, nothing at all. And that gets you nowhere. That you're not being humble. To feel like you don't need help, that you can do it all by yourself. No, you cannot do it all by yourself. You cannot. You will need a team of helpers. You will need a team of tools, and you will need a team of equipment. You will need a team of thinkers. You will need a team of doers. You will need a team of constructive criticism people that will critique the things that need to be critiqued. Because you have to align yourself with people who have already been in your shoes and who've already did the things that you've done, so that they can instill and sow into you so that you can take the right steps. So to really believe in yourself and to really believe in the greatness, you have to really believe in yourself, because you're unlearning, and you're dying to what society tells you, like, oh, it's still a dream. But what if it's not just a dream anymore? What if it's not just a dream anymore? What if this is something that you really want to do, but you allowing society to make you feel like, no, it's not going to happen? Stop telling people the shit that you want to do in life, because you do not know what another person may be thinking about the very thing that you want to go after. Because how you feel about the thing that you want to do, that other person may not feel that way. People don't want to see you win. Why people don't want to see you win? Because they're not winning. They're not taking the steps. They're not doing the work. They're not going after what it is they want. So when other people see that you going after what it is that you want, that enviness comes in, that hate comes in. And when they project that onto you, you get back in that energy of not wanting to do it anymore. You lose your motivation, you lose your courage, you lose your determination. You start to get distracted. You gotta lock in. And this is not for me. I'm talking to myself too, but I'm also talking to you, because maybe you need to hear this shit. Maybe you need to hear this shit too. Because and also releasing what people may feel about whatever it is that you're doing. If this is something that you want to do, if this is something that you want to go after, the outside world needs to go on quiet mode. Bitch, thank you. The outside world needs to go on D&D. Bitch, put it on silence. Put it on silent so the voice that motivates you inside of you can get louder. That encouragement can get louder. So the right people that are meant for you can be in your space. Let their voices become louder. Okay? For real, like this shit, this shit ain't for the weak. This shit ain't for the weak. But if you know that your spirit is telling you that you're meant for greatness, and you're meant for more, and your life is supposed to be different, and you supposed to it made me think of this song. It made me think of the song Mary Mary when she said, you were made to live a good life. Do you feel like you were made to live a good life? Not a good life, a great life, an abundant life. Do you really feel like you were made to live a great life? And then she said, so hit the floor, say a prayer, start working. She said, so hit the floor, say a prayer, and start working. People gonna look past the start working part because we don't want to. I'm not gonna say that there wasn't me at a point in time, because bitch, it was. I really thought that the shit that I wanted in life, I had to sit on my ass and it was gonna come to me. And knowing that I'm building a relationship with God, how can my faith be implemented if I'm expecting God to give me everything? If I'm expecting God to hand everything to me, I wouldn't need to implement faith if I wanted him to give everything to me. I wouldn't know that God is real. I wouldn't know that God is working if I feel like I didn't need to implement my faith. But faith, baby. And see, you're trusting in somebody that you cannot see. But when we was dealing with niggas and shit, we was trusting in niggas that we could see. But the niggas that we could see, that we were dealing with, we couldn't trust them. We couldn't trust them. So now we have to trust the very existence of somebody that we cannot see. And the very existence of him is for us to grow a strong relationship with him. Because it was not easy for me to implement faith, because I'm prone and I'm immune to trusting what I could see rather than what I couldn't see. So to really hone in and apply my faith, that's a test too. That is a test too, especially when you are going through a trial and you're going through tribulations, but you also have to keep the faith that this is the endurance may last for long, but joy will come in the morning. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, my throat. Joy will come in the morning. Now, I ain't no scripture guru, but baby, I know my scriptures. But that faith is God's love language. Faith is God's love language, because you are trusting him throughout the entire trial and throughout the entire suffering. because you know that you aren't suffering for to just be suffering. You know that God wouldn't place you in a position just to leave you there and not take you out. You got to learn something while in this suffering. You have to learn new things, and you have to unlearn old things while in this suffering. Because when you choose to walk with God, you have to be made like God. You will be created in God's image. God gone, baby, he gonna snatch you up. Look, you gotta be made new. You gotta be made new. And the pain is painful, but I would rather go through the pain than to live how I used to live, and to think how I used to think, and to operate how I used to operate, and to feel how I used to feel about certain people in certain situations, and to do the things that I did. I remember one time I said, so my TikTok, I remember I said on my TikTok that money made me do things that God would never have me do. When I tell you I got tested with it, when I tell you I got tested with it, because child, when I say money made me do some fucked up things, okay? Look me in my eyes. I ain't telling no lies at all. Will I tell you what I did? But I'm going to tell you, money is really the root of all evil. And it say in the Bible, you cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve money and God. You have to choose one. And who you going to choose? Who are you going to serve? Money can't change you how God can. Money can't speak life over you like God can. Money can't change your mindset how God can. Money cannot reconstruct your heart like God can. Money cannot do the things that somebody you cannot see do. But we see money and we feel like this tangible item can get us everything. It can feed us. It can feed our soul, but it really can't. Money feeds our flesh if we have that type of relationship with money. And you gonna learn. Thank you for confirmation. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Because, baby, money had my priorities fucked up. I'm talking about, baby, had a car, and when I tell you I stopped making the payments on that car, and I literally would tell myself I did not care. Even when I had the money to make the payments, I told myself I did not care. I did not care. Because I wanted to do what I wanted to do with the money. Like I said, my priorities was fucked up. I put myself in a position when I wasn't really ready. I just allowed society. I allowed society to make me feel like that I was ready, because I saw everybody with cars, and everybody getting in their car, going to getting in their car, going here, going there, whenever they want to, however they want to, what time of the day they want to. And I wanted that. But I didn't really sit, and I didn't really just consider if I was really ready. I didn't consider. And so I started doing the little payments, making them. But it clicked like, okay, I'll be cool without making this payment. Then when I missed that payment, I started doing it again, missing payment. Cause money made me feel like, oh, you'll be all right. You'll get it back to make the next payment. Got it back again. Didn't make the payment. So situations will arise to show you if your priorities are in the right place, if your priorities are in the right place, and baby, God got to make you into a whole different person before you can reach the very place he want to take you. You, it got to happen. It got to happen. It has to happen. It has to. Because we are representations of God. And God can't have no bad image. No bad image. No bad image at all. But child, believe in yourself for real. Like, I don't know who watching this video, but baby, man, woman, child, it don't, well, did look cousin, I don't, child, but believe in yourself. Really believe in yourself. If you feel fear trickling up inside of you when you are doing something great, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, because you're reprogramming yourself. You're reprogramming your mind to let your mind know that I ain't scared. I'm still gonna do it. I'm not scared because I'm not controlled. I'm not controlled by my feelings. I'm not feelings, but I'm not controlled by my emotions. I'm not being controlled by the thoughts that I hear. If God downloaded in my spirit for me to do something, you guys to do it. Because I was reading Acts last night, and Paul said he was obedient to the vision that God gave him. Paul said that he was obedient to the vision that God gave him. Now, who's to say what would have happened if Paul wasn't obedient to the vision that God gave him? Not to say he wasn't going to live a good life, but he might have missed out on the greatness of God. He might have missed out on what God had for him. Do you want to miss it? Chin up, chest out, bitch. Nigga. Chin up, chest out. Like, really release the outside word. Really turn it down. Matter of fact, don't turn it down. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cause when people open their phone, they need to need to look at something that's entertaining, and I'm not just entertaining. They need to look at something inspirational. They need to look at things that will keep them going, that will let them know that what you are doing is what you are supposed to do, and to not stop. No matter how hard it may get, no matter how painful it may get, no matter how the growing pains may be, you do not need to stop. You do not need to stop. And when you feel yourself going back into old patterns and old habits, you now know how to get yourself out of that. You now know what you need to do to switch it, turn it off, delete it, change it, move it. Because, baby, I'm going to tell God to remove anybody that keeps me from him, and that keeps me from the purpose and what he has called me to do. Anybody that keeps me in the position of my older self, remove me from them. Remove me from anybody that wants me to be attached to the older version of me. I can move now, but I'm gonna cry later. I don't want nobody around me that really don't support me. And I am so serious. I am so serious when I say that, and you should be the same way. You should not want anybody around you that does not support the very dream that you are going after. You should not want anybody around you that is not supporting the very thing that you are going after. You should not. And it really don't matter who it is. It's sad to say, but it really don't matter who it is. If they got to go, baby, they got to go. And you don't have to remove yourself from people in a bad heart space. You don't. You just have to accept the fact that they cannot go where God is taking you. They cannot come. I had to learn it, and it was hard. It was hard, and it was very emotional. But the very moment that God removed me from those places, the very moment that I started to do this shit without caring, the very moment that I started doing things that I wouldn't have done if I was still in this same place, because you are a product of the environment that you are in. And once you remove yourself from that product of that environment, you change. You change. When you place yourself in an environment with people who are sowing into you, who's pouring into you, who's pouring into your vision, who's pouring into your dreams, the more that you will incline, the more that you will increase, the more that you will elevate, the more that you will evolve, the more that you will change, the more that you will learn, the more that you will know, the more that you will gain. Keep going. Keep going. It's okay to be afraid of your greatness, but allow that scarcity of your greatness to motivate you to keep going. Because if you don't keep going, you will place yourself back in the same position. Just keep going. Just keep going. Cause, bitch, we all need to eat. Okay? Eat it, eat it, eat it. We all need to eat. Like, come on, man. Do this shit. It don't matter what it is, because God will place the people who are meant to see you in your path. The right ears have to listen. The right eyes need to see. And the right people need to learn what you are doing and what you are teaching and what you are pouring out. The right people will see. The right people will acknowledge. The right people. So, lock in. Lock in then. All right.